In 2017, I really went inward. And not because I wanted to. No, because I didn't want to. It was because I failed at a couple of things in the beginning of the year. I was forced to go inward. And it was the most amazing experience I've had in a long time. I've gotten to experience exponential spiritual growth, first and foremost with the ability to heal with my hands, which is absolutely incredible. And I really look forward to be able to exercise that more and more and more. But I also had a lot of lonely days and solitude. Going inward isn't easy. We all know that. Going inward is really challenging. Deciphering what serves you, what doesn't serve you. Because deciphering that can be really tricky, especially when your ego is telling you what serves you. So, quieting down the ego and listening to your intuition, to what really serves you, is key. I've mentioned this before. The podcast hasn't been easy for me. I constantly question myself. Carrying a podcast by yourself is a lot of work. And I doubt myself all the time. Questioning what series is next, what I'm going to talk about next, what each episode is going to look like, I still don't know. I don't know the answer to what is coming next. I only know today's episode. And then I'm washed over with fear again of, can I produce the next episode? I know that this is only part of the process. I know that this isn't meant to be easy. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you that are listening right now, you that encourage me with your messages and your emails. When I tell you that you really keep me motivated, it is because you truly do. And it is for you that I come into this closet and I hit record and I start talking into the microphone. Sometimes I do just want to say, okay, the Moon Cycle series is over. This was fun. Thank you. But that would be giving up. It really would be giving up. There has been so much healing that has generated from this podcast. I can't even begin to wrap my head around all of the healing that has come from this. Not just from within myself, but also from you, the listener. Letters to Luz is inspired by Melissa Rojas. 2017 wasn't easy for her. Melissa is a dear friend of mine. We met in 1999. We were in math class together. I remember the first time I saw her. I knew that we were going to be best friends. My intuition told me straight away, she's family. Little did I know that she would eventually, legally, really become my family. 19 years of friendship now. We lived together in Dallas. We had so much fun, and we followed our dreams. She married my cousin and gave birth to my beautiful niece, Camilla. It's crazy to think that my blood runs through Camilla's veins, especially when I reflect on the friendship that we've shared. It's been a wild ride, and nothing is what it was. 2017 for Melissa has definitely not been easy. She wrote us a letter. Dear Luz Warrior, 2017 was one of the most difficult times I've ever encountered. My marriage was crumbling right before my eyes. And as much as I tried to fix it, I couldn't. I felt I lost control of everything, even my emotions. At times, I really felt I was going crazy. I had anxiety. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't focus. So before I did more harm to myself, I decided to allow things unfold the way they were meant to. Once they did, meaning we proceeded with our divorce, I was a woman on a mission. I was working, trying to keep the business, learning about the divorce process, and most importantly, raising my daughter. Again, I was just going, not giving myself the room to really process everything and heal. I mean, I was making steps. I went to therapy, worked out, relied on friends, tried to keep myself busy, but things were off. Fast forward to now, I made the decision to relocate to Texas with my daughter. It was very difficult to make that decision, since I moved out at 18 years old to make something of myself. But these darkest times, when you feel you're broken, you see things with different eyes. Plain and simple, I needed my parents, and it is the step I needed to make a move forward. Finally, the healing began, and I felt I could breathe. Don't get me wrong, I've had some of my darkest days. It hasn't been easy. Sometimes I've had to peel myself out of bed. It's been a daily battle. Let There Be Loose podcast has been one of the factors that has helped me during my darkest days. I believe we have the power to control our own lives. Sometimes we lose track of that. Linda, your words and knowledge have given me the guidance I've been seeking. I see the cycle now, and when I've needed to pull myself out of my own head, I listen and sometimes re-listen to your words. Your meditation gets me in a zone, clears my head of negative thoughts of what is bringing me down. I finally also had time to process the divorce and just everything in general. Some dark shit went down that I wish not even on my worst enemy. Dealing with it and facing my dreams has given me some clarity. Every step I have taken has had the sole purpose of healing myself and doing what's best for my daughter and I. Sharing this journey, every person I've encountered, family member, and every single friend that has shined some light has been a part of the healing journey. Linda, not only are you my friend, but you are my light. Thank you for sharing your knowledge of the moon cycle with us. Thank you for reminding us we are strong and powerful and capable of anything. In my darkest days, I saw the light. I resorted to Let There Be Loose episodes. And as silly as this may sound, I believe I've come up with some of the best ideas I've ever had. My dreams and my true purpose are crystal clear. That Melissa that I had doubt for a minute is gone. Thanks to you and again every single person that has rallied behind me. I'm not saying there won't be hard days or that it will be easy, but I am saying there is no turning back. Thank you for creating a space for us to share. Even writing this letter to you is serving its purpose. Before, I would have held the pain inside, but not this time around. For me and for Camilla, my daughter. With love, Melissa Rojas. I just want to hold space for Melissa, and I know that all of the tribe that's listening is holding space for her as well. May you continue to follow your personal path on this healing journey and in just finding who you are and who you are meant to be alongside Camilla. I'm really proud of you. Melissa did inspire Letters to Lose. She doesn't really listen to podcasts. It's like not her thing, but I would go to her and tell her, I just don't know if I can keep doing Let There Be Lose. And it was more of just insecurities of the hard work, or I didn't know what subject to tackle on next, or I just was building up all of these insecurities. And Melissa would reach out and tell me, I'm healing. I listened to this episode and I saw the light. I mean, she would just come back with so much positive feedback that she would get from listening to the episode. Yes, her opinion carried a lot of weight, not because she has been my friend for a long time, but because she's not a podcast listener. So for her to actually listen and to find changes in her life or find healing was a big deal to me, especially also because she's not the most spiritual person, and I feel like she's just now discovering that. And even though throughout our entire friendship I've been on a very spiritual path and she's shared experiences with me, she's just much more reserved and much more logical, I want to say, less emotional than I am, where I'm hyper emotional and just, I guess you could say, woohoo-y. She's just been more logical, like, okay, where's the proof type thing. But she's been extremely supportive along the way. So to watch her go through this transformation as she's listening to the podcast and share her feedback with me, as well as all of the other women that had been writing emails and sending DMs and sharing their spiritual journeys and how Let There Be Lose was helping them transform, I really wanted to create the space that she inspired for all of you. So if there's anything that you want to get off of your chest, or really just put closure behind it. If you wanted to write an anonymous letter, or if you wanted to be public with your letter, whatever the case may be, then feel free to head over to lettherebelose.com, click on the podcast. You'll see the drop-down menu that gives you Letters to Lose, and you can sign up for that. I can't guarantee that everyone that writes a letter will actually make it onto the podcast. We've received an abundance in people signing up. I'm so honored that you guys are willing to share your personal stories, because I know how hard it can be to come out and be public with something that might be painful. For example, in this case with Melissa, she's also a very reserved person and she's not much of a fan of being public with personal matters, and I've always respected that about her. I know how much courage it took for her to not only write this letter, but to also come out publicly on her Instagram with her divorce. So you can find Melissa Rojas at Chasing Clothes. I'll have a link on our show notes, and I just again want to say thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing this story. We are seeing a shift in society right now where we are truly finding power to speak up and just be honest and not needing to put up facades. I feel like the way women's generations past have sort of created a culture where you had to pretend you were somebody that you weren't in order to be accepted. We're moving so far from that, and we're finding healing in just being honest and speaking our truth. I think it's so important to be transparent in our community and not harbor knowledge or tools that can help other women through their own personal journeys. So again, I just want to say thank you so much. I love you guys, and here is to a much more powerful 2018. May we have the wisdom to know that everything is not going to be perfect, but that it does take imperfect moments to get to a perfect place in the future. You can follow Let There Be Lose at Let There Be Lose on Instagram. We also have a Facebook page that I have a goal to be more active in 2018 at Let There Be Lose on Facebook. If you are enjoying the content that I am producing, then the only thing I ask for in return is that you head over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating if you feel that we are 5-star worthy, and write a review. This helps give exposure to not only my podcast, but other podcasts like mine that are also colored podcasts It just helps give all of us exposure. So when you're rating and reviewing this particular podcast, please know that you're also helping bring exposure to other podcasts from people of color. I appreciate it, you guys. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and you can follow me on Instagram at Luz Warrior. Thank you, 2017, for Let There Be Luz.
Return to the one.